Hello friends, it's Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology, and I've got a pop-up reading for you guys tonight. I was just drawn to do a reading for you guys, okay? I feel like it's probably a pretty significant message that's coming through, because whenever I decide that I'm going to do a reading, or as tonight I was just kind of like, hey girl, we need you to do a reading. Okay, all right. So there's a process that I go through. You know, we gotta light some incense and some candles, put on some jewelry. I got certain stones out. And then, of course, I was guided to bring out certain decks. That whole process of me setting up for the reading is just typically me just kind of giving in like, okay, all right, Spirit, we're doing a reading. Channeled messages start coming through, okay? So I'm going to let you know the sensations that I've been getting trying to prepare for this reading before we go into the reading. Because they're not going to tell me really what it's about, but I've got some inclinations, okay? My brain is all over the place, so thank you so much while I organize these. Okay, so there's this feeling of wanting everything to be just right, but at the same time not being that stressed out about it. Just like really feeling when things were coming together that yes, this is the exact perfect thing, and this is important that it's the exact perfect thing, that I had just the right crystals, that I had just the right, I put on a rose. I never put on my rose perfume when I'm reading, but that's just what I was called to do. You know, I was called to bring out certain candles. So just based on all of these hints, you guys, that I've gotten so far, I know that it's going to be a message about healing. All right. We have my healing quartz out. That's just what this particular stone is dedicated to. It's actually particularly dedicated to, it's been charged with the energy of the Temperance card. All right. So it is about healing and reflecting and taking what we've learned from our lessons and really like integrating that moving forward. Okay. Taking the process of healing. Okay. And really allowing that to just happen. Okay. That's what this quartz is all about. And especially when it comes to healing within relationships, just FYI. All right. Rutilated quartz wanted to come out, also known as rutile quartz. All right, it has to do with clarity, cleansing, and clearing the chakras. And then my black kyanite had to come out. All right, this is the healer's healing stone. So I feel like a lot of you guys that are going to resonate with this message are healers yourselves, but you've gone through this tremendous healing process. And so it's almost like you need to heal from your healing process before you're ready to move on to the next thing. Okay. That's the message that I'm getting there. There also was this, like I said, I wanted things to be just right. And I felt, you know, just intuitively guided towards all of those things. But I also felt like in my excitement to do that, I had to remind myself to slow down. In fact, this is the third time I tried to record this video, and I just had to slow down, all right, to be able to get the words out to you, okay? One final guided message, just intuitively channeled message before I get into the cards. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask what this reading is for, because I think it's about love. I think it's about healing, but it's not, they're just making sure that I know that it's not, and I let you guys know it's not a typical relationship reading, okay? Boom, there we are, Two of Cups. And the Nine of Swords, okay? And the Nine of Swords. I was messing around with this, it's a Shakespeare poker deck. Brevity is the soul of wit. That's a reminder to not ramble on too much about that, but it's just a poker deck that's got a different Shakespeare quote on each card, and I'm a huge Shakespeare fan, so that kind of I decided was something that would be fun to incorporate into my readings. All right, when that came out earlier, I was playing around with that. It was the Nine of Spades came out, and the quote was from Macbeth. It's when he's like thinking about killing Duncan. It's this idea that like his wife has put in his head. He's thinking about maybe killing the king because these witches told him that he's going to be king. All right. So he tells his wife, and she's like, well, obviously we have to just like assassinate the king. He's going to come stay the night. Why not take advantage of that? And Macbeth is doing this whole, do I really want this? Is this really what I'm supposed to do? Okay. They also want to remind you that this is one of those stories where he just could not have defied his fate. Like it was just his fate. All right. So he's not really sure that he wants to actually do the thing. And then he's having this whole soliloquy about it. And all of a sudden he has this hallucination of this dagger, of this knife, just kind of appears before him. And so going along with the Nine of Swords in the William Shakespeare deck, we have this phrase, is this a dagger I see before me? All right. Ooh, snap. I feel almost like you guys are on the verge of having some sort of wish granted to you, but you're not sure whether you're willing to do what it takes to get there. I'm not saying you have to go murder somebody, all right? Okay? Let's remove the morality from the fact that Macbeth murdered his king, all right? He literally fucked up the entire natural order by doing that, by the way. But he was called to do it. Like, it was just this idea that he had, okay? And then all of a sudden the exact means that he needs, like, appears before his eyes with supernatural help, okay? The universe is like, here it is. Here's everything you need. And he doubted it. He hesitated. Okay. So again, we're removing the morality from the whole situation and just kind of talking about, like, you guys are going through your own soliloquy moment. Like, do I want this? Do I not want this? All right. And it has to do with some sort of wish fulfillment. All right. I know that much. All right. Did I talk about purification by fire, you guys? I was just playing with my cards. All right. So I got distracted. The last intuitive, like, guided message that I got, by the way, we're talking about communication also. I never feel compelled to just pull out a notepad to take notes. I don't do that, but I did that this time. The phrase I wrote down was purification by fire, but then, okay, so basically this idea of fire burning away everything that is, God, they're giving me so many words. Toxic, dirty, impure about something. All right. And again, let's not think about traditional morality. But anything that was toxic or impure about, they want me to feel like a connection, had to be burnt away. And it had to be done. So it was this purification by fire. All right. So intensity. Something really, really intense has happened, I believe, within a connection. But the reason that had to happen was to sort of burn away those unnecessary parts that are actually getting in the way, preventing it from shining like it should. Okay. But then also the image that they gave me, the flashback that they gave me when I got the phrase purification by fire, was when I was a kid, I loved to play outside. And I would just, my dad grew up a hunter. He grew up running around outside as well. And he knew to do frequent tick checks, right? So he would do this thing. Ooh, we're getting there. Where he would light a match, and then as soon as he blew it out, he would touch the match to the tick. And the tick would release its hold. All right? So that fire, the purpose of this trial by fire, this purification by fire, was somebody needed to be able to release their hold on something that they thought they needed, but they did not. That's the message that I'm getting, you guys, okay? Or maybe there is something that had its hold on them. I don't know, all right? So we're definitely, like I told you guys before, the question I have for this deck is what are we even talking about today? We have a Tower reverse on the bottom of the deck. Okay. They're asking me to slow down. This is a Mercury retrograde. They're asking you to slow down. All right. So Seven of Cups came out. Now, this is some serious Mercury retrograde in Pisces energy. This isn't generally like Pisces energy. All right? Hold on one second. Pardon me. Also, according to traditional associations between the tarot and astrology, this is Venus in Scorpio energy, okay? So it's very, very dreamy, okay? But in a really almost emotional way, all right? Very deep emotions at play. And I feel like what's happening is, Yes, it's exactly what I told you guys, okay? It's not a relationship reading, but it's about love. It's about getting ready for love. It's about the steps that need to be taken, the healing that needs to be undergone in order, I honestly believe, in order to bring in a very, very, very significant connection, all right? It's out there and it's available to you. If this is what you're seeking, some of you guys, I'm going to be real with you. I'm getting this vibe that some of you guys just came out of something that you thought was with a soulmate. And they very well could have been a soulmate, but not your keeper, right? Somebody who was here, who showed up. I said this a million times, you guys. Sometimes our soulmates show up and they trigger us into this place where we're that tick. We're holding on to something so tight. They trigger us. They bring on that purification by fire. They touch that match to us. And it's so painful that there's something tremendous that we end up letting go of. Okay? That is our healing process that prepares us for the next soulmate relationship, the next soulmate mission that kind of is coming in for us, okay? So this is where we're at right now. Boo, boo, boo. That's us. More Scorpio energy, Pisces energy, all right? And it is reversed, okay? I feel this. Yeah. Oof. 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 I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. That's not feeling good. All right. This is a masculine energy. Hello. Can we have a little focus, please? Hello. Focus. Sorry, you guys. You know I'm talking to my camera, not you. All right. This is the masculine energy, so that doesn't mean that the querent, i.e. the person I'm reading for you, has to be a male, but it's a masculine energy, which means you're really trying to, you're coming from a place of assertiveness rather than receptivity, okay? This particular series of cards with the Ten of Swords here, dang. Okay, you guys, I feel like there's a lack of closure that's really messing some of you guys up. It's having a hard, you're having a hard time making sense of something, fitting something into your logical framework, because that's what the Emperor does. He's very rational, he's very grounded, he's very logical, all right? And he's reversed because he's having a hard time making sense of things. All right. Spoiler alert, you have to throw away the old way of thinking of things. That's what this renewal is. All right. Okay. So there's some sort of lack of closure in a cycle. All right. You're having a hard time wrapping your mind around what it takes to just be done with this. All right. And I just keep feeling unsettled. All right. That's what this Four of Wands reverses. Ideally, like if this were upright, that's the Emperor's kingdom. Okay. And he's got it well protected. But something's just not sitting right. Okay. And it's almost like there's this weird boiling underneath. I don't know, but there's stress. There's stress. Something needs to come to an end. Okay. King of Wands reverse is trying to pop out on the bottom of the deck. I feel like if that's anything, it is another energy. It could very well just be you not knowing how to act. Being like, I really want to just move forward right now. Dreaming of options, dreaming of opportunities, dreaming of what could be. All right? Some of you guys are dreaming of what could have been. Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening is you're in your feelings. You're definitely in your emotions. You're trying to listen to them, but you're not exactly hearing what they're trying to say to you. So I'm going to pull out the Vintage Wisdom Oracle real quick. Usually I start off with the Oracle. Y'all know that. But like I said, I had specific questions about what kind of reading this is. All right. And the answer I got is exactly what I thought it was. It's about healing. It's about healing the way that you're thinking about love in order to be ready to receive it, to choose it when it comes along. All right. Because the Lovers card, we have King of Cups reversed, by the way, and then the Star and the Lovers card. The Lovers is not only, it is the sign of Gemini. It's not only about love, but it's about choice. It's about choosing love. Somebody was put in a place where they didn't feel like it was an option. Like they didn't feel like they were free to choose. Man, I don't like that feeling, y'all. I told you this was going to get clairsentient. Clairsentience is when I just feel the feelings. Sometimes I just get the downloads. Sometimes I hear the birds. Sometimes I get little flashbacks to when I was a kid, right? Something like that. They're giving me all the feelings. Shadow self is at work. This is what's blocking the King of Cups right now. Some of you guys are doing the shadow work, and your guides are really, really proud of you, because I feel like those of you that are doing the shadow work, and when I say shadow work, I mean, like, let's say you had a tower moment in the past. Let's say you had a heartbreak. Let's say you had something that didn't work out, okay? You just sit there and think about all the things that the other person did wrong, or are you willing to shine the light in on yourself and say, oh man, not that I meant to do that, not that I did anything wrong per se, but I can look back and see how, like, certain ways of reacting to situations created this energy, created this scenario. I contributed to the toxicity of the relationship. That's what some of you guys are being called to do right now. Oof, oof, oof. They gave me the sense that the reason he's reversed is because he doesn't realize that he's introducing toxicity into the water. This is the purification. And you know what a star is. It's a big old ball of fire. Purification for some of you guys by fire. If you guys don't come to this realization on your own, the universe is going to come smack you on the back of the head with it. That's what this Tower card is. And the way you come to the realization is you do the shadow work. You have to talk to your shadow self. Here's the thing. Your shadow self is a very valuable part of you, and it has a lot of important information. Most importantly, your shadow self can recognize the shadow in others. So where, like, you might want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt all the time. I'm talking to myself here. But then you get that little, like, intuition not to trust somebody. That's because that shadow exists in you and recognizes itself in others. Okay? So you got to be learning how to listen to your shadow self, because if you don't, it's going to come in and fuck everything up. I'm letting you know. It will act out as anger, as jealousy, as lust, as a lot of things that could sabotage a relationship. But also just even as pettiness, as ego, as pride. This is how the shadow self manifests, all right? This is how you end up poisoning your own waters, all right? This is what they're getting me, all right? They're giving me that this is him surrounded in, like, his emotion, all right? So this is the King of Cups in the state of a relationship. He's in a relationship. He's surrounded by his emotion. He's in his emotion. He's very watery, right? Because that's, I mean, look at all that water, all right? Okay. But what he doesn't realize is that there are certain behaviors or reactions that he has when he's triggered that inject a little bit of toxicity into that water. And then a little more and a little more and a little more. And pretty soon, he's surrounded with this water that's like, ooh, gross. Okay. Some of the waves are yellow and they made them look like dead fish. Okay. So if you're following the metaphor, something that some way, the universe, your guides, this whole message here is trying to call your attention to whatever the last heartache was, or even if it's been a series of heartaches. Understand there's something in you that perpetuates the toxicity. And they want you to know that and to learn that and just heal from that, because they want you to be ready for this next love that's on the horizon. Okay? Faith and harmony. Ooh, yes. Harmony is about integrating the shadow self. Okay? The shadow self, to me, also can represent a lack of faith. All right? So the shadow self is scared. He's full of self-doubt. But faith is what says, no, man, everything's going to work out okay. Everything's going to be all right. It's going to work out in our favor. All right? So you can see, because she looks like she's real close up to the bird, and she's really far away. She's farther away from the bird, okay? So harmony is about trying to find a meeting ground in between these two. Okay? Faith also means knowing that you're protected. The fact they wanted me to talk about her helmet. Faith means just knowing that you are protected. All right? There's a part of you guys, oh my God. I had this conversation with a friend. We both have had this feeling where it's like you're so scared of moving forward because you're like, well, I've made a judgment call that I was super secure in at the time, but looking back, kind of like shot me in the foot. It kind of started a fire. All right? So there's this idea, maybe I don't trust myself anymore. Maybe I should just, let's stop letting her make decisions. But no, you could just have to find a way to balance the parts of you within, allow them to live in harmony with one another, okay? So you know what? I have faith that I can recognize the shadow in people and be able to keep my distance from them, all right? You can't be scared that everybody is going to be the shadow. You can't be scared that everybody is going to do you wrong. All right? And you can't be scared that everybody is going to bring out the worst in you either. Okay? What it's asking you to do is to have faith that in the moment that you're encountered with some shadow energy, that you'll be able to do the right thing. Okay? Once you've really done the shadow work, and you've learned to integrate your shadow self, they really want me to say the word integrate, into your decision-making process. You cannot ignore it, you guys. You can't shut it down. Okay? I know that I use the term devil energy a lot to refer to the shadow self, but understand that's something that exists in every individual. It's not some external negative, deity that has any hold over your soul. It's just the fact that in this lifetime, in this human existence, you guys, we have this thing called an ego that we are bound to. All right? And we have to learn to transcend that to the best of our ability. Not to ignore it. Not to ignore it. Not to stifle it or silence it. But to understand it and be able to integrate it into our decision-making process. Say, well, I know that happens. I know my pride's going to be triggered here, but I also can spend some time in meditation and figure out what are my best coping mechanisms for when that comes along. Okay? So that's some major and hope just sitting on the bottom of the deck. All right? I picked up the deck and it was remaining on the table. All right? That's a really solid message. And we're 25 minutes in. Okay? I can't let these videos go too long, or else the file gets all weird and glitchy. Now there we've got a Two of Cups on the bottom of this deck. You guys know this Cosmic Tarot. This is the one that's always thrown the Two of Cups at me. Ooh! I told you it's about communication and clarity. Alright? Two things happening here. Alright? Because this Lover's card is an opportunity that you're only eligible for if you have reached that star level. You have to move out of this King of Cups reverse space where you feel like you're pretty freaking sure that it was all that other person's fault, and you're just mad because you listen, man. You blame everything on everybody else. You look at how much power you're giving them. If you accept the narrative that that was all completely somebody else did you wrong, look at how much power you've given them over your life. Because you know you can't change other people's actions. You can't change other people's behaviors. You can only change your own. So when you take responsibility for that which is your own, that's when you, that's when you're growing. That's the Empress. That's when love can actually flow. All right? There are, oh man. Y'all, I'm getting pulled to some, stop it. This is exactly what I was going to say. I'm getting pulled to some messages. All right? That I almost feel like this, ooh, remember how he was reversed? Some of you guys are going to step into a truth that's going to allow you to spring into action towards whatever your romantic goals are. You might just want to be alone. That might be it. Okay? But I almost feel there's, yes. You guys, oh, this is a divine union. All right? I really feel like this message is for two people. Yep. Clarity's coming. You see how many times this Ace of Swords would not leave us alone, you guys. Yes. And it's so beautiful because this yellow, oh, it's yellow and blue. It's about throat and solar plexus. Being able to just speak one's truth boldly and fiercely and move forward. All right. But you guys, I do get a serious feeling that there is Emperor energy and Empress energy in the air right now. Okay. All right. So if this is somebody that you're considering, if there's somebody from your past who's still on your mind, they want me to say that closure is coming. Ooh, and closure may or may not mean like coming together to stay together. Okay? Some of you guys are just going to be able to close out a very long-standing cycle that's just caused you a lot of stress. But the main thing is that you really have to be able to see how you contributed to that energy. Okay? For some of you guys, it's in such small doses, it's going to be hard for you to see. Really, really, really small, repetitive behaviors, things that you don't even think of as being toxic. For some of you guys, the message is that what works in one relationship is not going to work in another necessarily when it comes to communication. So if you're like, well, I know how I communicate. Well, but how does your partner need to be communicated to? You got to learn that every time. You got to learn that in every new relationship. I know it does seem like work, doesn't it? And it is work. It is work. But that's what the realization is that some of you guys need to make. Okay? So much masculine energy. Because we got the King of Pentacles here and the Six of Pentacles. Alright? You've got to be able to give a little. Like, yeah, here's the thing. The older you get, for real, y'all know this, I'm about to be 40. I know I'm cute. Thanks. Oh my gosh, you guys, stop it. You're flattering me too much. The older you get, the more you're like, yeah, I'm just the way I am. That's one way you could go. I'm going to be real with you. I just am the way I am. This is the way that I am in relationships. I'm going to find a new relationship and I can either be this way or I just won't do it. But then some of you guys are like, you know what? Every relationship I'm in, I'm growing, I learn something, and I enter the next one differently, with a different mindset, with new skills and tools for making it work. All right? That second mindset is the one that you're being expected to adopt in order to move forward and get this, like, serious. You guys, we have the Lovers and a Two of Cups. This is soulmate union. Okay? And not just the kind that comes along to break your heart. But it is about giving and taking. That's another thing. It's about self-worth. How much you're willing to put into it. Oof. Ouch. Okay. For some of you guys, there's a message here, and it might not even, all of this could be for you or your person, whatever person you're thinking of, or even somebody who could be coming into your life. All right? For some of you guys, it's this realization that in the past, you've probably taken more out of your relationships than you've given into it. And it is a feeling of commitment to doing better in the future. For some of you guys, you feel like you were in a connection with somebody in the past you're still learning and healing from, where you really did do your best, but it wasn't, you weren't able to give to the extent that that other person was giving, actively giving to you. All right? And it takes me back to this 6 and this 6. Somebody feels like they were in a place where they could not choose love. And then the guides say they were not 100% right, but that feeling, got 9 of Swords again, that feeling of, basically that what happened when you say that, like, I don't feel like I'm in a place to choose love. I understand that's real. I understand that's very, very real. But at the same time, who are you allowing to place those restrictions on you? You may not be able to choose love to play out in the way that you always saw it playing out. But if you've got love, man, it's worth saying so. That's the way I feel. All right, I got some energy coming out over here from the Bianco now. This is a desire to just not fight anymore. I don't want to fight. I don't want to go back to the past, but there's things unsettled in the past. And this could be within, like I said, a partnership between two people that's not currently together. I don't see it currently together. Somebody wants reconciliation, but they're afraid of going back to the past. There's things that they're maybe not quite over, but they're afraid of bringing it up. They're afraid of bringing it up because it's just going to bring in this whole other energy. 3 of Cups is the energy that they want. And if you look at it, the 3 of Cups, like one of these ladies looks exactly like the lady on the Temperance card. Okay. You know what? I would love for there to just be healing. But there's this fear that the past has not been learned from yet. I just want to move forward. I just want to be happy. I just want to laugh. I just want to dance. But there's this fear that healing has not properly occurred. and that could end up sabotaging a new beginning. Okay? We have another King of Pentacles. Remember this Four of Wands reversed all the way up here? Here it is upright. Okay? You guys, this King of Pentacles, if you're the King of Cups, this could be another energy. All right? But remember I said I felt like somebody was restricted from choosing love in the past. They weren't really allowing themselves to give equally to love in the past. They weren't really allowing themselves to invest in it. I think this king realized that is exactly what kept him from achieving the Four of Wands. And you want to know what, guys? Look, there's a couple there. This couple is a lot farther off in the future, okay? I mean, not the future, the distance. They're in the distance, right? So see how this couple is right up in the front, like, yo, hey, we just got married. This couple is kind of like, oh, they're starting to fade into the background. All right? So there's a couple messages. One is definitely, like I said, about the internal healing. It's about the healing, about realizing how you've contributed to toxicity in your relationships in the past. Okay? No one person ever deserves all the blame. Even if that one person... Okay, there are some times when one person does just deserve all the blame. Okay? People, there's real serious toxic shit going on out there in relationships. Please understand how aware I am of that. Okay? I want to help and empower you guys to not ever go back to those kinds of relationships again. But most of the time, if this was not like an abusive, narcissistic relationship, then there's some way in which you allowed it to perpetuate in a certain way. Okay? So it's just identifying those self-sabotaging practices within yourself. Okay? What is it that you've done in the past that maybe led to a situation becoming toxic? And not just one, but maybe even multiples. Because this realization is going to get you moving. They're showing me like a horse. You know, you smack a horse on its butt and it's just like, boom, I'm going. Okay? Because that realization, whenever you can figure this out, I feel like this is a little side story. These are the way people are feeling about a certain connection. This is the healing lesson that needs to be learned overall. Okay? We're going to see what Shakespeare's got to say about this, okay? I really want one because I feel like I said, there are two sides here. And then I kind of want one for the relationship, for the connection, the potential connection, if this is one. There's the King of Spades. Ooh, I feel that. All right. All right. Okay, for the masculine energy, for whoever is the King of Pentacles energy, who feels like they could not choose love in the past, that they want to move forward and be able to give more, uneasy. Okay, a lot of people started off heavy. They get the phrase wrong. Okay, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Okay, this King of Pentacles. Ooh, man. This is somebody who knows that there's action that they need to take. And, eek, I'm almost feeling like a need to face up to decisions made in the past. Okay? Because that's what happens when you're the king of your life. You got the head that wears the crown. Alright? It's uneasy. Having to make all the decisions and be the grown-up in your life. That's hard work. All right? Wow. There's another energy here that is a little reluctant to go back to this because they don't want any conflict. All right? Here is there's, ooh, the 8 of Hearts, baby doll. Ooh, that's the 8 of Cups. This King of Spades, by the way, it's a King of Swords. Having to make a decision about what to do. All right. This is the 8 of Cups. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, man. As you like it. You're sitting there watching this play, and you're like, man, this play's the whole thing. It's the whole story. It's everything. No. There's another show on at 9. There's going to be another show tomorrow. Another show tomorrow. There's somebody here who's like, you know what? This was a beautiful, beautiful, like, I really talking about a past connection. This was a beautiful, beautiful thing, but I think it might just be the fake soulmate energy. Not fake soulmate, but the soulmate that's not to stick around. Okay? Somebody here is looking back at the past at what they could do better this time. And somebody here is looking back at the past and almost like, what can I do better on the next time around? This person wants to come back. This person wants the next time around. All right, that's the energy. What is the overall, just, if this is a connection, here's an overall energy. 3 of clubs, you guys. That's the 3 of wands. Wow, this is from Love's Labor's Lost. From women's eyes, this doctrine I derive. They sparkle still the right Promethean fire. They are the books, the arts, the academes that show, contain, and nourish all the world. Yo, bitch. That's Empress energy. That show, contain, and nourish all the world. Also, we have the oh, fuck. The World card reversed. You guys, there's a divine masculine out here who really feels like he has lost his world. Okay? But I also somehow feel like she is the key to him getting it back. I don't know. I don't want to take the power away from him. He's the one who wears the crown. He's got a decision to make. I feel like this is a masculine energy and this is a feminine energy. Even though we don't have a queen, we don't have an empress out. I literally feel this is the eight of cups. Somebody who's walked away. Okay? There's healing here. There's opportunities for love here. There's choices to be made. There's clarity on its way. Okay? And healing coming with it. Alright? Take this reading as it resonates, you guys. Again, it was something I was called to do. I hope it's for some of y'all. Okay, hit the like button if you feel like it was your message. Definitely share, subscribe, comment, do what you're gonna do. I'm so glad you guys are here with me today, and take care until I see you.